critical analysis. That's where we lay our plans for freedom. That's where we will organise ourselves to be free. So when you attack an organisation, they know that it's a powerful base. It's a monumental base. So we're not allowing you to come and attack our organisation without us supporting that organisation. So we know also from the history of the US, of the COINTELPRO, we know that you've attacked our people. And what do they say? This program is to disrupt, discredit and neutralise. And that's what they're trying to do to the Uhuru movement. That's exactly what they're trying to do. We're not going to allow it. So what is the crime of the Uhuru movement? What is their crime? Their crime, according to the US, is that whenever there's oppression, there's resistance. Wherever there's oppression, there's resistance.
Welcome all to Campaign for Truth and Justice. The federal trial of the Uhuru 3 has begun. The egregious charges of being foreign agents don't bode well for the future of free speech and the radical black movement. However, the movement will continue to struggle and resist these attacks on human rights. The process of jury selection on September 3, 2024, will mark the beginning of the federal trial of Omali Yeshitela, chairman of the African People's Socialist Party, APSP, Penny Hess, chair of the African People's Solidarity Committee, APSC, and Jesse Nevel, chair of the Uhuru Solidarity Movement, USM, together known as the Uhuru 3. The Uhuru 3 were indicted by the US government in April 2023 on the absurd charges of being agents of a foreign government. Charges very similar to the indictment of W.E.B. Dubois, the internationally known black scholar and human rights defender. Dubois was 81 at the time of his indictment as a supposed agent of the Soviet Union for his anti-nuclear and pro-peace advocacy. Omali Yeshitela is similarly 81, with an international standing as a human rights and anti-imperialist fighter for more than 60 years. The African People's Socialist Party and Uhuru movement that he helped to found have been organizing and advocating for African people and colonized peoples for over 50 years. Ajamu Baraka, chair of the Black Alliance for Peace's BAP Coordinating Committee, who will be an official observer of the trial, states that it is only in the imagination of white supremacists that African people would need smart white people from Russia to guide our people and movement to oppose the US, EU, NATO proxy war against Russia and analyze and comment on all aspects of US foreign policy. Internationalism has always been a core principle of our movement, from the Garvey movement and anti-fascist struggles of Africans in America and in Spain in the form of the Abraham Lincoln Brigades, as well as the International Friends of Ethiopia that opposed the Italian invasion of Ethiopia, to our support for the liberation movements in Cuba, Haiti, Africa, Central America, and Vietnam. Omali Yeshitela is an outstanding product and example of that tradition, which, among many other reasons, is why BAP gives its inexorable support to Chairman Yeshitela, as well as to Penny Hess and to Jesse Nevel, who embody the highest example of revolutionary solidarity with African people.
Campaign for Truth and Justice.
Hess and Nevel have stood with us, and we intend to stand with them against the criminal repression that the Uhuru 3 are targets of. BEP recognizes that the ridiculous charges leveled at the Uhuru 3 represent a shot across the bow of the radical black movement. The US understands that if it is successful in containing black opposition to the increasingly aggressive militarism abroad and repression within the borders of the US, the broader movement in the US will be more easily controlled. BAP and our movement will not be intimidated. We recognize that the complete abandonment of the constitutional and human rights by the US and other Western states represents an irreversible crisis of legitimacy. We will continue to stand in support of the right to resist as a core human right. Thank you for listening to Sister Shay, reporting from Campaign for Truth and Justice. For more information, visit us at ctj.org.uk and don't forget to like and subscribe.